Hello everyone, welcome to this video on 20 AWS interview questions. In this video, I will explain AWS interview questions in very simple way. This video is useful for freshers, experienced professionals, even students who are build cloud computing. I will not use difficult technical words, so I will explain each question using real life examples so that even non-technical people can understand. Each answer is explained slowly and clearly so you can easily remember it for the interview. If we are preparing for AWS interviews, cloud basics and IT job interviews, then this video is perfect for you. So let's start and understand AWS in a simple and easy way. AWS means Amazon Web Services. It's very simple word. AWS is place wherever we can use computer storage software using internet. Earlier, if a company wanted to run a website or application, they had to buy a big computer called servers. They had to keep them in one place, office, pay for electricity, coding and security. This was very expensive. Now imagine this example. Instead of buying your own water tank, you can take water from the city supply and pay only for how much water you use. So AWS works in the same way. So AWS gives you computer storage and database on rent. You do not buy them. You only pay for what you use and only for how long you use it. For example, Netflix uses to show movies. Small shops, small school startups and big companies also all use AWS. So in short, AWS is cloud platform that help people run websites and applications without buying physical computers. What is EC2 in AWS? EC2 stands for Elastic Computer Cloud. EC2 is nothing but a computer in the cloud. Think about your personal laptop. You use it to install software, write code, browse the internet, or run the application. EC2 is exactly the same, but it's not in your house. It's inside the Amazon data center. For example, imagine you want to start an online shop. You need a computer that runs 24 hours. Instead of buying physical computer, you create a EC2 instance in AWS. You can choose small computer, medium computer, or a powerful computer. If your website becomes popular, you can increase the size. If fewer people visit, you can reduce the size. That's why it's called elastic. So because you can grow or shrink anytime. So EC2 means renting a computer from AWS and using it through the internet. What is S3 in AWS? S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. S3 is used to store files in the cloud. Think about hard disk or a pen drive. You store your photos and videos in document and backups. S3 does the same thing but online. For example, when you upload the photo to Google Drive or a WhatsApp, those photos are stored somewhere. Very often, that somewhere is S3. So you can store images, videos, PDF file, document, website, and backup files. S3 storage is very safe. Even if one computer fails, your data is not lost because AWS keeps multiple copies. You can access S3 files from anywhere in the world using the internet. So in the simple word, S3 is a big online cupboard where you safely store your files. What is a region and availability zone in AWS? AWS has a centers all over the world. These locations are called regions. For example, India region, US region, and European region. Each region has multiple availability zone. Now imagine this example. A region is like a city. Each building has its own power, internet, and security. If one building has a problem, then the other building continue working. So AWS use this design so that application never stop working. For example, if your app runs in two availability zone, Then one zone fails, user will not even notice any problem. So the region means a location, availability zone means safe and separate data center inside the location. What is IAM in AWS? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So IAM is used for security in AWS. Imagine your house, you do not give the house key to everyone. So you decide who can enter, who can open which room, and who cannot enter all. So IAM works in the same way for AWS. With IAM, you can create users, give passwords and permissions. For simple, a developer may only need access to servers, and accountant may only need access to billings. So very important point, you should never use the main root account for daily work. Always create an IAM user. So IAM is like a security guard that controls the access to your AWS account. What is RDS in AWS? RDS stands for Relation Database Service. A database is a place where you store data in an organized way. For example, think about a school register. If you store student name, roll number, class, and marks, this data a database store in the digital link. Earlier, if you want a database, you had to install the software, take the backup, and fix your problems. This was difficult and time consuming. RDS makes life easy. RWS manages the database for you. RDS supports databases like MySQL, Postgres, and Oracle and SQL Server. AWS is automatically take up backups, upgrade software, products data, and fix failures. For example, if you run an online shopping website, customer details and orders are stored in RDS. So, in simple words, RDS is managed database where AWS does the hard work and you focus on your application. What is Lambda? What is AWS Lambda? AWS Lambda lets you run code without managing servers. This is called serverless computing. Think about a light sensor in a room. When someone is enter, the light turns on. So Lambda works in the same way. You write the code and upload it AWS. So the code runs only when the event happens. For example, a file is uploaded, a user click on a button and message is received. So you pay only when code runs. If the code doesn't run, so you pay nothing. So Lambda automatically handle the scaling. So AWS Lambda is best for small tasks where you do not want to manage servers. What is a VPC in AWS? VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. So VPC is your own private network inside AWS. Think of AWS as a big apartment building. A VPS is your personal flat inside the building. No one else can see inside your flat unless you allow them. Inside a VPC, you can create a networks, IP address, subnets, and security rules. For example, you can keep database in a private area where internet users you cannot access them. Only your application servers can talk to the database. This improves the security. You can also connect your office network to AWS using a VPC. So it's a very simple words. VPC is your private and secure space in AWS Cloud. What is an elastic load balancer? Elastic load balancer or a AWS helps to share the traffic between the servers. Imagine a busy restaurant. If only one waiter takes all the orders, customer wait and get angry. If there are multiple waiters and work is shared, everything is run smoothly. ELB works the same way for the application. When many users visit a website, ELB receive the requests. ELB send them to different servers. If one server is slow or broken, ELB stops sending traffic to it. For example, during a festive sales, thousands of users visit a shopping website. ELB makes sure that website does not crash. So ELB is like a traffic police that directs the users to the right servers. What is auto scaling in AWS? So auto scaling is automatically increase or decrease the number of servers. Imagine you run a food delivery app. At night, very few people order food. So would you keep all the servers running all the time? No, it's waste money. So auto scaling is solves this problem. When traffic increases, auto scaling add more servers. When traffic decreases, auto scale removes the extra servers. This saves money and improve performance. For example, during the billing billion day sales, auto scale adds servers automatically and remove them after the sale. So, auto scaling means smartly managing servers without manual work. What is Amazon CloudFront? So Amazon CloudFront is a service that makes website and videos loads faster. Imagine you live in Hyderabad and you want to watch a movie. So if the movie server is America, then it takes more time to reach you. Now imagine there is a copy of movie near your city. It's load very fast. CloudFront work like this. So CloudFront stores the copies of your websites, files, images, and videos in many locations around the world. So these locations are called edge locations. When you when a user open a website, CloudFront send a data from the nearest location. Website open faster, user experience improves. So for example, YouTube and Netflix uses this concept. So video do not buffer. So in simple words, CloudFront brings the content closer to users to make website very fast. What is a Root S3? Root S3 is a AWS DNS service. DNS means converting a website name into a IP address. Think about your mobile phone. You save a contact name like mom, and Root S3 works in the same way. When you type www.mywebsite.com, Root S3 finds the correct server IP address. Root S3 also check the server health. If one server is down, then Root S3 send the user to another healthy server. It can also send users to nearest server based on location. So Root S3 is like a smart address book of the internet. What is Amazon CloudWatch? So CloudWatch is a monitoring service. It helps to see what is happening inside your AWS resources. Imagine driving a car, you look at the speed meter, fuel meter, and warning lights. Cloud works like a dashboard for AWS. If monitor CPU usage, memory usage, and the disk usage, and application lock. If something goes wrong, AWS Cloud was send an alarm. For example, server CPU is too high, disk is almost full, and application is crashing. So CloudWatch inform you before user complain. So CloudWatch help you monitor, alert, and fix the problems early. What is SNS and SQS? SNS and SQS are messaging services. SNS stands for Simple Notification Service and SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. So SNS is used for sending messages for many people. For example, send an email alert, uh, send SMS, send mobile notification. If you want to inform many users at once, SNS use. SQS is different. SQS is like waiting line. Imagine a bank queue. People wait a line and or serve one by one. Application uses SQS to store messages safely until they are processed. So SNS is broadcast messages and SQS is queue messages. Both help applications communicate smoothly. What is ECS and EKS? ECS and EKS are used to manage the containers. First, understand the containers. A container like a box that contains application code and libraries. So everything need to run app. So ECS stands for Elastic Container Service. EKS stands for Elastic Kubernetes Service. ECS is AWS own container, and EKS use the Kubernetes, which is popular worldwide. Both services help to run the container, scale the container, manage the container health. For example, if your app grows, EKS or EKS add more container automatically. So ECS and EKS make container management easily and automated. What is AWS share responsibility model? AWS share responsibility model explain who is responsible for what in AWS. AWS stand AWS and the customer both share responsibility. Think about renting a house. The house owner is responsible for building structure, electricity wiring, and water pipes. Tenant is responsible for looking the door, cleaning the house, and keeping the things safe. So AWS is like a house owner, and AWS take care of data center, physical security, hardware, and infrastructure. Customer is responsible for passwords, IAM users, application security, data security. If hackers steal your password, AWS is not responsible. So AWS secure the cloud and customer secure the what is inside the cloud. What are the EPS and EFC, AWS storage types? So EBS and EFS are storage service in AWS. They are used to store the data just like a hard disk in real life. First, let's understand EBS. EBS means Elastic Block Store. So EBS like a personal hard disk connected to one EC2 server. Imagine if you have a laptop at home, you connect to an external hard drive to disk. This means this is exactly how the EBS work. One EC2 server gets one EBC2 drive. Other drives cannot be used at the same time. So EBS is used when data belongs to one server, database data application file. EBS is also supports snapshot. Snapshot means backup. If the server crashes, you can restore the data from snapshot. Now let us understand what is EFS. Yes, EFS means Elastic File System. EFS is like a share folder. Imagine an office where many employees work. They all access one share folder on the network. The share folder is like a EFS. So many EC2 servers can access one EFS server drive at the same time. EFS is useful when multiple servers need same file, share application data, common upload folder. So remember this simple rule: EPS and EFS. EPS is personal drive and EFS is state drive. Both are fast and data is not lost when the server stops. What is CloudFormation? CloudFormation is a service and used to create AWS resources using the code. This concept is called infrastructure as code. Let us understand with real life example. Imagine you are building a house. Instead of explaining everything and again, you draw a blueprint. So this blueprint say number of rooms, kitchens, bathrooms, and parking. Cloud formation work like the same way. In the cloud formation, you write a template file. This file can be written in YAML or JSON. So inside the template, you can define EC2 servers, S33 buckets, RDS database, and load balancers. Once the template is ready, you can give to AWS. AWS automatically create a resource for you. Benefit of cloud transformation: first, it saves the time. No need to create a resource manually. Second, it avoids mistakes. So same template creates same setup every time. Third, it helps to create a development environment, testing environment, and production environment. Fourth, if something goes wrong, you can delete all the resources with one click, and template can be stored in Git. So infrastructure can be version control like software. So remember, cloud transformation builds infrastructure like writing software code. What are the different AWS pricing models? AWS pricing is very flexible. You do not pay a fixed monthly amount like traditional hosting. So AWS has different pricing model. First is pay as you go. You pay only for what you use. Example, use a server for 1 hour, pay only for 1 hour. Second is reserve the instance. If you know you will use a server for a long time, you reserve it and get it discounted in a slot instance. These are very cheap servers but can stop anytime. Spot instances are good. Testing, batching jobs, not critical work. So AWS is helped to save money by offering multiple pricing options. What are the different between public, private, and hybrid cloud? So there are three main different types of cloud deployment model: public, private, and hybrid cloud. So first let us talk about public cloud. Public cloud means cloud service share over the internet. Example, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud in public cloud. In public cloud, many companies are use the same cloud. Data is private, but infrastructure is shared. For example, like staying in an apartment building, public cloud is cost effective and easy to scale and very popular. Now let's understand the private cloud. Private cloud is used only for one organization. For example, bank servers, government data centers. Private cloud is like a personal house not shared with anyone. It gives more control and more security, but it's expensive and difficult to maintain. Let us understand hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is a mix of private and public. Example, sensitive data stored in private cloud and normal application on AWS. Imagine money is kept in locker at home, and most companies use hybrid cloud because it gives flexibility, security, and cost saving. So remember, public is shared cloud and private is dedicated cloud, and hybrid is best of both the worlds. Thank you.